Yeah, so when I think about the future of Web3, I'm going to go a little bit back to the past. You know, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. And so when we think about how things are happening now, the same conversations we're having right now in Web3, they were having in Web1. And in some ways, they were just as much. Web1 was actually very open source. Go back and look at this, right? Except it was just a one way, so the technology wasn't as advanced. Well, was not as advanced. Web2 was definitely more centralization, but if you look at a lot of the companies that were created in Web2, and you look at a lot of their missions, they were about disrupting kind of the current structure and order. And of course, we villainize a lot of them because they did a lot of things that we don't like now. But even let's take Facebook. Facebook's original mission was to connect the world, and they kind of did that originally. Then, you know, and you look at Google. Google was about making sure people had free access to information in a very easy way. Those things happened. And now we're looking at a stage of Web3, and it depends on what we build. It's what we build collectively, what the future's going to look like. And we have to determine it. Nothing's guaranteed. Web3 can end up looking like just like everything else if we're not careful, because it's a tool. And when I hear people talk about it in this way as if we're going to remove everything, we're not. Because think about it, if we did this in a way where everything is just through the technology, then you actually remove people. It's just artificial intelligence.
Right.
And is that better? So we have to really think about what are we going to build, how are we going to make sure it's inclusive, and we have people that are in charge of these platforms and working, or systems of government, of governance, that are thinking about doing this in an inclusive way, in a way that's most beneficial, because if we don't, we can think we're having this one model and actually make something worse. I hate to have that point of view, but I guess I'm probably the oldest one up here. And this is why we decided to build Disrupt Art, because we wanted to make sure we at least had some platforms that had the frame of mind of using this for social impact and actually improving the world.